This is Tom Rule again, the Mac Music Guy from MacMusicGuy.com. Again, talking about the keyboard setups for Joey Stuckey's Mixture album at the Sports Hall of Fame. You know, the interesting thing is that you can be in the studio and you can do all sorts of keyboard tricks, but then when you're playing live, it's a whole nother thing. So I was tasked with the responsibility of taking the keyboard sounds that we had spent months working on and translating them into something that I could play live using my equipment. You know, we're not major league artists, internationally known, all that kind of stuff, although we have sold some stuff overseas. But, you know, not an unlimited budget, so you use what you got. So I'm going to talk about the song Fall, which is interesting, has several major sections on it. And again, if you haven't seen any of the other videos in this series, I'm working with a Roland RS-9 keyboard. That belonged to Joey. And then my main keyboard, a Roland RD700sx. So they are midied together. I can play here and get the sounds off of here. So let's go ahead and call up Fall and take a listen to the sounds. My right hand. And the left hand. Again, I was playing bass for this whole concert, so my left hand down here playing bass lines, right hand up here, and you can tell in the original score that that's actually not written that way. The bass player is supposed to do his thing. So what I ended up doing was playing essentially, sometimes I would play just the top two notes, and my left hand was playing the bottom note, which worked out pretty well. And then I would fill in chords in the chords as things get thicker as we continue on in the score. So sound-wise, what we had here starts out with just the string pad and the steel guitar in the right hand, and then the left hand. And I kind of like that sound because when you really hit it, so I could really bring that out later on in the piece. Sorry, had to sinus problems. All right, the RD9. Let's turn that volume back up. Had these sounds. And this one for the bass. So for the first part of the song, what I had were four actually sounds. This is the external from the RD9. So here's what they sounded like. And this was, let's go over to the patch change. This was 65089. Layer 2, 66055. Layer 3, 66055. Oh, I did it twice. That's right, I did it twice because I liked it layered like that, doubled up. It balanced out the strings a lot better. And then the left-hand bass line, 660-109. I wanted an analog sound for the bass, because actually the original analog sound comes from a vintage Korg DW8000 that I was not about to pull out of my studio to take for that one song. So those were the four sounds externally. So you add them all together and you get this. It's a little better balanced out than that. So as we go into page 3 of the score, on the B section, there's this massive crescendo, and on the recording it adds in several pipe organs. So what I did is set up a pipe organ here, full stops, internal 80, and massive pipe, internal 89. So you can see here the strings are 119 and the steel guitar is internal 138. I use primarily internal sounds here. I do have 2 external cards on here, but they didn't have the sounds that I wanted. So you've got this sound going. Add in the pipe organ. And then the second pipe organ. And you get this massive sound going on. It was shaking the floor and all that kind of stuff. And then on the last line where it says bring it down, I would just flip out the big one that's down an octave for one phrase, and then back out, and we're back to the way we started. So that's Fall from Joey Stuckey's Mixture album. Again, the charts will be available on MacMusicGuy.com.